Treaty of 1922, during which the final land and sea borders were demarcated between Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Iraq. Vice-Chancellor, I have pleasure in asking Dr. Madalena Taras, Director of Studies for this research degree, to present Dr. Mubaarak Sultan Al-Nahedh Al-Sali for the award of Doctor of Philosophy. One of the big changes in the education sector in recent years has been the introduction of the foundation degree. This is a higher education qualification, but usually taught in a college of further education. This teaching of higher education in a further education environment has led some to question what is the difference between higher education and further education, and how do lecturers who normally teach in further education teach differently when they teach in a higher education context. Joan's research focused on identifying those differences and in devising a strategy to help lecturers in further education be more able to teach in a higher education context. One of the accepted differences between further and higher education is undertaking original research. Using the Jenkins-Healy model of research-informed teaching, Joan worked with lecturers from local colleges to develop their ability to undertake research and scholarship activities, which they in turn could use to develop their abilities with their foundation degree students. Her starting point was to achieve a consensus about defining higher education. Subsequently, using a case study approach, she developed highly successful workshops which encouraged staff and students to evaluate research literature, to participate in research, to undertake their own research projects, and to publish original research papers. Joan's research has led to a model which can be utilised by senior staff in colleges who intend to introduce programmes of higher education as part of their provision. Vice-Chancellor, I have pleasure in asking Dr. Judith Kewitt, Director of Studies for this research degree, to present Dr. Joan Moyer Goss for the award of Professional Doctorate.
I now call upon Mr. Paul Callaghan to address you.
Well, good morning, Vice-Chancellor, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, graduates and friends. Isn't this a wonderful day? Isn't this just a celebration of success and achievement? The culmination of all that hard work. And you're able to walk across the stage and shake hands with the Vice-Chancellor, and now you know what you've actually achieved. It confirms what a real clever group of people you really are. I'd like to begin by saying I'm standing in for the Chancellor, Steve Cram, who is in Sweden because of BBC commitments. But I know he sends his best regards and his congratulations. And I know how much he values graduations and sees it as the culmination of what we do in the university. I'm delighted to be asked to speak for a number of reasons. Firstly, I guess I'm always pleased to speak at the Stadium of Light. It's my spiritual home. It's the closest I get nowadays to my boyhood dream of leading the team out. When I was a kid, like Martin O'Neill, Charlie Hurley was my hero. And I'd always imagined myself running out on the team with a number 5 on the back and being the stalwart centre-half. Now, once I passed 60, I thought my time had gone. But because of the performances recently, I keep the boots in the back of the car just in case that call comes through. You never know. The second reason why I'm absolutely delighted to be here is because I love speaking at events which are celebratory, which are celebrations, which this is. It's a celebration for the university, it's a celebration for the graduates, and it's a celebration for all the friends and family who are here today. So it's wonderful to be able to be asked to speak at events like this. And finally, I guess, and most importantly, it's great to be able to speak to a room filled with people who've now achieved much and yet still have so much to achieve. Today is just the start, it's not the finish. Anyway, the rules of speaking at these events is to be brief. So, what should we talk about? Life and the future. Today is a day that you will remember all your life. I remember my graduation. I know because every time I go and see my mother, who's now 83, there's the photograph on the mantelpiece. And it's a reminder after all these years, after 40 years, about the help and support that her and my father gave me to get my first degree. And I know you'll feel the same every time you see that photograph, whether it's with your parents, your partners, your friends, or your children. It's a day of pride. It's an important day in your life. Because what it does, you'll end up with a piece of paper, a degree, and you'll be able to show people and say, look, I've worked hard and aren't I clever? And it proves that to them. But most importantly, it proves it to yourself. It proves to you that you are able to do this, that you have the ability, you are tested against your peers, and you have passed with flying colours, and that's why you were able to walk across the stage today. It's a wonderful feeling. Enjoy it today, and remember it for the rest of your life. So what do you do now? Well, I think it's very easy to let the days just pass by. You know, just life just goes on. And the sun rises in the morning, it sets at night, and another day passes, and another year passes, and nothing much has happened. And believe me, my view of the world is that when I finally leave this mortal coil, I'm not going to come back as a badger or a table leg. I'm not going to be reincarnated. This is it. This is not a rehearsal. Life is for doing things. And if at the end of that life you haven't made a difference, then you've wasted it. You now have the ability. You know you have the ability. We've told you you are clever, you are qualified. You now have the chance to make a difference with your life to society. Now, don't think that success can be measured in wealth. If you think that success is all about having plenty of money, a big house, big car, then you will always be disappointed because somebody will always have more money, a bigger house, and a nicer car. It's just the way it is. Somebody, and most probably they won't be as happy as you because wealth doesn't bring happiness. What brings happiness is what you've been able to achieve in helping others. I spoke at an event here on Monday with voluntary and community organisations, and somebody said, oh, you're speaking to the do-gooders. And I actually said, I like people who do good. I value people who make a difference. And you now have the chance to do that. You have a chance to make a difference, whether it's in the classroom, whether it's in your job in society, whether it's in your creative work. I mean, it's a wonderful mix of degrees that have been presented today. And I recognize the talent from all parts of the world that was able to walk across that stage today. Believe me, those of you today have intelligence, you have education, and hopefully you now have self-confidence. And believe me, society demands much from you. You are the people who will change society. So don't waste the chance. Don't pass up on opportunities. The things that I regret most are not the things that I did and failed at, but the things that I didn't do the opportunities that I didn't take. So take those opportunities, be brave, grab the moment, do things that other people say, well, can't do that. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You are the future. Whatever age you are, and some of you were getting towards my age, and some of you are still in your early 20s, and it's wonderful to see that. You can still change the world, and in so doing, you change yourself. Let me talk a little bit about another thing, about one of the 7 deadly sins. Do I usually get on the stage and talk about deadly sins? I'm not going to talk about sloth or gluttony or lust. That's what you do in your own time, your own business. I want to talk today about one of the 7 deadly sins, which is called pride. Now, I think today that's not a deadly sin. I think, first of all, from the university's point of view and the staff that are sitting here behind me and in the audience, I'm really proud of this university. They are really proud of what they've been able to achieve. We are going tonight nominated for University of the Year. Even if we don't win, I'll be very disappointed. But in my heart of hearts, I'll be proud of what this university has achieved and what it continues to achieve in the future. So could I ask you to give a round of applause to all the staff, the Vice-Chancellor, and everybody else in this university? Now I want to particularly address the parents, the partners, the children, the friends, those of you who have come today to support your loved ones, to see them in their moment of glory, their moment in the spotlight. You want to be very proud. You want to be very proud indeed. If you're a parent, you've brought them up, you've sat with them when they've been ill at night, you've gone to the school nativity plays, you've bandaged them when they've come home with bruised knees, you've lent them money, you've helped them through the difficult times, you've shared the good times. And today, it's as much your day when you see your child or your partner or your parents walk across today. You know what they have done, what they have gone through to get to today. And you should be very, very proud of what you've been able to do. Without your help and support, many people who walked across that stage wouldn't be here today. So I'm going to ask the students, the graduates, should I say now, to applaud all of the people who've helped you to get to here today. I know it's tough. I've got 2. I've got the summer graduation, fingers crossed, that he's not doing too much other things, like getting down to some work to get his dissertation finished. So I do know what it's like. Let's finally talk to the students. You absolutely should be proud. Just imagine when you started on this course of study, whether it was a foundation degree or a PhD, just imagine the people who started the same day as you. Where are they? Many of them dropped out. Many of them couldn't take the hard work. Many of them didn't have the ability. You've done it. You have made the grade. And you should be incredibly proud about that. Because you have achieved at a university which has the highest standards. And you've reached those standards. And you can now go on and do great things in the rest of your life. Can I give you one little piece of advice? As I've just said, your parents, your friends are very, very proud of you today. It's a good day to try and borrow money. As I say, I so enjoy being up on this stage and looking into the eyes of people as they walk across and seeing that mix of pride and relief. I've finally done it. And I know what it's like, and I really admire you for what you've been able to achieve. Go out now and have a wonderful life, and thank you very much.
I now call upon the Vice-Chancellor to confer the awards on those students presented here today and those students who are qualified but who are unable to be present.
Distinguished guests, friends, colleagues, ladies, gentlemen, and our graduates, it's been a wonderful occasion this afternoon. Our thanks to Paul for his uplifting remarks. It is very, very special to reach the point which is the most important point symbolically of our ceremony, which is the conferment of awards. Would all of our students please now stand? And would you please put on your mortarboards? It's more difficult than any examination, this. Okay. Not quite there, everyone, yet. Okay. By the authority vested in me as Vice-Chancellor of the University of Sunderland, I now formally admit you to the degrees, diplomas and certificates for which you have been presented here today. Many congratulations to you all, and very, very good luck. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the ceremony. Now would you please all stand as the procession leaves?